I think we called out digital as an expertise area a couple of years back, and I think all the investments that we had made in digital as a focus area has paid off in the last couple of quarters. I think in terms of customer profile, in terms of where they are spending digital, I think it's moved away from proof of concept to early successes to actually rolling it out across the enterprise, and that is leading to a larger deal size when it comes to digital projects. And I think that was in effect for Mindtree in the last couple of quarters.
Okay, Mr. Parthasarathy, while most mid-cap IT companies are still operating at lower margins than their large peers, they are quoting at premium valuations, which is now more than their last 3-year averages as well. What, according to you, justifies this more than healthy premium, if you can call it that?
Now, without specifically commenting on the premium, I think the way I look at it is actually, I think size of the company is no longer has a big role to play in terms of customers choosing partners. And I think companies who are making investments for the future, especially in new areas of technologies, I think have a higher potential to grow faster in the near term as well as the medium term. And I think probably that is something which is understood well by some of the investors, and maybe that is what is playing off.
I've always seen that Indian IT companies do well because it is a pure play on currency. Will your optimism wane if rupee starts appreciating against the dollar?
I don't, currency is something we can't get a handle on. I think the way we look at our business is actually, I think we have to add value to customers, and I think we are not in the currency play, and I think any growth or margins that we need to get should be over and above the currency impact on our business.
No, but when you talk to your clients, I'm sure they are also cognizant of the fact that a weaker currency means that your realizations will go higher. So what happens to your contracts? Do you renegotiate them? Because no consumer or no buyer will want the vendor to make more money. I mean, if you're suddenly making more margins, I'm sure they would like to renegotiate contracts. I'm just trying to understand how does it work.
No, I think that conversation is really behind us as an industry level. I think many years back, this used to be a topic of conversation with procurement departments as well as customers. I think the industry has matured now. If you look at any mature industry anywhere in the world, nobody talks about currency plays in terms of the value that you give to the customers. I think today, I would say in the last 2 years, I would say that within Mindtree, at least we have not had any conversation with our customers on currency impact at all.
While the entire industry, Mr. Parthasarathy, is extremely upbeat about the pace and quality of execution this year, do you sense that margin performance and profit growth in FY19 could be better than the year behind? And would you say that profitability and margin accretion would be restricted to few of the industry players, or would it be more spread out across companies?
I think it's difficult for me to comment at the whole industry at a whole, because I think that generalization will be difficult to make. But I can point out 2 things. One, actually the bullishness in terms of opportunities is high across the sector. That is because of the conversations that we have with our customers. That gives rise to the feeling that, today a lot of new technologies have come into play, and customers are now saying, I want to use this technology to run my businesses better. So that bullishness is actually coming from conversation with customers. And that is leading to an overall bullishness in terms of how we look at FY19 compared to FY18. I think there is a unanimous view that FY19 will be better than FY18, at least from an opportunity point of view. Now, margin is a very different game altogether. I think it varies from one company to another company in terms of what position they are in and what value they can provide to customers. I think it will be very difficult for me to comment on the overall margin scenario at a sector level. But at a sector level, I can confidently say that from a revenue point of view, I think it's a lot more bullish.